Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. The topic is mentoring African American youth, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about mentoring African American youth members of the unique Gents organization, Mr. JThrealkilll, Mr. Cole, and Mr. Michael Williams. And of course, gentlemen, this is the last segment that we have here today.
Yes,
we're going to start with Mr. Williams and give you an opportunity to make some statements that you'd like to make in reference to the topic, mentoring African American youth, or perhaps you might wish to say something about the unique Gents itself. However, the three of you wish to address that.
Thank you, Dr. Haney. Well, with this topic, the unique Gents itself, for me personally, gave me a new life. And I was able to grow in the sense to have great attributes, to be able to be focused, to have faith as a foundation, and to be able to understand what it means to have a brotherhood. So I didn't have any of those things growing up on my own. So with this organization coming together the way they did and nurturing me, growing me from the inside out, I'm able to do the same thing for others. So it's a give back idea.
I want to say that Mike has been a wonderful role model in our organization, because when I say that a young man made a 360 in his behavior and his attitude, Michael Williams is that person who really has come along and become an upstanding citizen. And I just want to thank him for being the person that he is. But I think most of all, Dr. Haney, one of the things that comes to my mind about our young men is balance. And that's one of the things that the Unique Gents organization try to give these young men, because there are just so many things that they're not introduced to on a daily basis, and particularly in the homes where young men doesn't have fathers. And so when they come into our organization, we try to make sure that they got the balance of things that they need, and discussions and an opportunity to talk. Those are the big things, as well as things that they may need to do in the community. We do a lot of community service work with our young men. And so we think those things are important. We try to provide it, and we just look at ways in which we could help young men in this community.
Yeah, Mr. JThrealkilll, all of these things work well, but what about resources? I want to, let's talk about, because I think that we've indicated earlier that there's simply not enough financial resources to keep these organizations going. And I know that you're a 501c organization and whatever, and that you accept donations and et cetera. But what should people try to do? I mean, in terms of, just speak to the general community in terms of what we need to do in order to help some of these young folks stay out of jail or killing one another and et cetera. You know, just break it down from that perspective.
Well, Dr. Haney, as a nonprofit organization, of course, donations help us continue our mission in working with the young men. And so we always welcome that opportunity from corporations that are working with us in terms of supporting our efforts, and then also connecting the young men from a spiritual perspective. You know, we have the support of Bethel Church, where Mr. Cole attends, and St. John's Missionary Church, and also the East Nashville High School Alumni Association, and using their facility for a meeting location. And so those resources give us an opportunity to bring the young men in and spend one-on-one time with them, and really try to show them that, you know, a lot of role models that you see today are either athletes or entertainers. And too many times our young people think those are the only options for them career-wise. And so after stressing the importance of education, we want to show them careers related to education, science, other fields, computer science, the medical field, and let them know that there are other options out there, and helping them to identify their skills and how they translate into a career, whether you want to be in communications or art like myself, and exposing them to those things to help them understand that their world is a lot broader than their immediate neighborhood, and giving them some examples of how to treat young women so that they can be respectful candidates for husbands one day, and stop creating so much wealth for the prison industry, where too many of our young people are locked up and wasting away because of some mistake that they made that they didn't realize would be pretty much a negative impact on their lives for days to come. And so we feel those kinds of examples are important. And so you know, organizations, individual donations are always welcome, but we also have members in the Unique Gents organizations that pay dues also that help us fund our efforts as well, and just really have that kind of commitment from young men who are all professionals in some field. We have business owners, we have former NFL athletes, and all of those men are bringing those resources to the young men that we're working with.
And you know, Dr. Haney, I feel like that when you're working with these young men, if you can't let them know that they are loved by other men, right? And if you can't, you can't get these young men to trust you, then you're not getting your job done. You've got to build the trust, and you also got to show these young men that you do love them. And once they know that, because they can feel it, and once they know that, then it takes them a long way. But just to talk to your point, as far as being able to donate to our organization, because we accept donations, we have a P.O. box number, which is 60386, Nashville, Tennessee 37206, if one would like to donate. Or you can go to our website at uniquegents.org, of course, and to donate. So I just wanted to say that to the public too, that if you want to know more about the Unique Gents, please visit our website at uniquegents.org.
And so, Mr. Williams, you can say from your own personal point of view what this organization not only has done for you, but for others as well. And so it did enough for you to want to come back to replicate what they did for you with somebody else. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, sir, we are. Actually, we've had this organization grow upon not just me, but several other young men. And the biggest part about being able to give back is to show that that's the future. We're feeding into our future. So we want to nourish it. It's just, and then, like I said, going back to the donation portion of it, it doesn't have to be a large corporation that comes in and helps. I had got help from local community, local grocery stores. They've been able to help put food on my family's table, and when we didn't have it. So being able to, you can help in many ways. It doesn't have to be in a big way. It can be in a small way. Just being able to know someone that's in need. And at the time I was in need, this organization was put there and an opportunity to feed me, not just physically but spiritually. So I was able to grow. Like I said, faith was a wonderful foundation that this organization has had, and I'm so thankful for it. And that other young men I know for a fact that are thankful for it, because they continuously come and participate and get a lot out of it.
And Dr. Haney, Michael is a perfect example of a young man who came to understand that being academically excellent was okay and cool. There's a lot of times too much peer pressure on our young people that there's something wrong with demonstrating your intelligence. And so we really try to strive to help them understand that you can play sports and do anything, but you can also compete in the classroom, and that there's something positive about being associated with excellence and, you know, showing that you're capable of performing academically. He graduated with honors when he graduated from Pearl Cone, and that was an example for other young men to see that a football player can be smart in the classroom too, and they need to understand that they're capable of doing those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And with the organization being able to show me that I can be a thinker, I took the opportunity to apply myself more, and that's all I needed was the encouragement, the know-how, and to know that I can do it.
And somebody to believe in you.
Somebody
to show some kind of love, understanding, goodwill, and that kind of thing toward you. And if they believed in you, you wanted to do well because you didn't want to let them down.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, I can understand that. And I think that we can say that, looking back at my own career, my own background and et cetera, there were folks in my own life that helped to bring me along. And I understand what the three of you are doing. And what I want to do is to thank you for coming by and giving us that excellent information, and to have had an opportunity to see all three of you in work, in action, in a real sense, and I've been encouraged because I know that we've got a large number of problems in this society, but we've got to do it somewhere.
Absolutely.